Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to it if you first joined us. Today you're going to be joining me for an interesting one. I was digging around in the garage the other day and I came across an old driver that I totally forgot I'd bought, to be honest. It had been sat there for a very long time and I thought, I've got an idea. So I thought I'd do a comparison between this super old, cheap driver that I bought and my current driver, which arguably is a bit more modern, although it is old itself, but it's got all the fantastic bells and whistles that these modern drivers come with. So I thought I'd do a comparison between these two to see if there really is any difference in performance for a high handicapper golfer. So let's get into the drivers and what I'm going to be looking at. So the first one, the cheap one of the two, is the Slazenger V300. This comes as standard at 10.5 degrees with a 460cc head, which in my opinion looks massive in comparison to my current driver, especially the face of it as well, far bigger. And it comes with a steel regular flex shaft and a basic Slazenger grip installed. Now this driver is actually 1 inch shorter than my current driver, so that's going to be interesting. So I don't know how I'm going to swing this thing. I don't think it makes much difference, only 1 inch, it's not going to be overly different. But yeah, this you can pick up still brand new online in a well-known UK sports store called Sports Direct. It's like their golfing brand that they sell. They do sell all sorts of stuff obviously, but for the Slazenger range they've got drivers, irons, wedges, I think they've even got like putters as well and stuff like that. You can currently buy this for £26.99 Great British pounds, so that's around $33. It doesn't come with a head cover or anything like that, it's just shrink wrapped. There you go. So yeah, around £27, 33 US dollars, super cheap, and probably ideal for someone that just wants to start out in golf and doesn't really care what they're hitting and what they're taking to course. So yeah, that is the cheap one, the super cheap one, which I'm really intrigued to swing actually, because I don't think I've used it. I can't even remember the last time I used it. Then we come on to my current driver, and a more premium if you would. So this is the TaylorMade M2 2016 model. It came at 10.5 degrees with an adjustable hosel, which I have actually jacked up a little bit, so it is on a slightly higher loft. Came with a Fujikura Pro 60 stiff flex shaft and a Golf Pride grip, which is probably on its way out, to be fair. I bought this second hand quite a few years ago now off eBay. I think it's for around about £140 at the time, but you can see it's in great condition. The previous owner looked after it, I've looked after it considerably, but you can pick these up still secondhand online through eBay or wherever for around about between £110 and £130, and that's so $138 to $163. The lower end of that price range, you're going to get some really worn ones, whereas the higher end, obviously, they're going to be in really good condition. So I'm going to say mine's up in that good condition range. So they're holding their value, you know, considering I paid £140 for it quite a few years ago, and it's still almost worth that. And this particular driver has had some great reviews online from other golfers around its performance. Obviously, I'm a high handicapper, so you know, probably just not going to matter what I'm swinging, and that's the whole purpose of this video as well, just to see if there is going to be any difference. But I like it, you know, I love the look of it. I love the white on the crown there and that carbon fiber look as well. It looks good. So what I'm going to be doing, as I said, I'm going to want to do 10 shots, 10 good shots with both of these drivers. I will eliminate any real bad ones or miss hits, so just to make it a little bit fairer. And I just want to take some just key metric data really. So primarily carry distance, not too worried about total distance, so it'd be carry distance and dispersion really, and maybe some spin as well. We'll have a look at the spin because obviously that's going to affect things ultimately. And we're just going to compare them. I'm really intrigued to see what happens with this. I've been considering changing my shaft on my current driver because it's currently stiff and I feel like it probably needs to be regular based on my swing speed. So with the super cheap Slazenger V300 in an irregular shaft, although it's still, I'm intrigued to see how I hit with that as well. So let's see. Do you need to be spending loads of money on a driver as a beginner high handicapper? Let's find out. Right, we're going to start off with the Slazenger V300. So cheap driver first, 10 shots, 10 good shots. That was low on the club face. That was a bit better. It's more like it. Hit that central. That's going out right. It's also going out right. That's better. So one more with the Slazenger. Right, so now onto the TaylorMade. I'll change this over to a freewood just to identify it. So the driver is going to be V300, the TaylorMade is going to be a freewood. 10 shots for this. Oh, that was a bad one. That's going out right. But the TaylorMade needs to redeem itself at the moment. A lot of mishits, which is not the driver's fault. It's the driver of the driver. It's better. It's low. Yeah, it's low off the face. Last one, TaylorMade, redeem your value. Oh, no, we're going to retake that. That was a bad hit. That wouldn't be fair. It's going right. Okay, let's review the stats. Okay, the statistics are in. Apologies, I didn't actually screen record while I was down there whacking those balls away, but we gave you a quick rip through some of those. So let's bring the stats up on the screen for these two drivers. All right, so here we have it. So we've got 21 shots in total. I think I took an extra one on the TaylorMade at the end. So I'm just going to look at these shots. I'm going to delete the, I think it was the second from last, yeah, that one there. Shot 20 on the TaylorMade. So I'm just going to remove that. Okay, so with that one removed, now bearing in mind, you'd have seen me swinging away down there. I'm hitting all sorts. I'm in hills, toes, I'm putting out to the right, left. Standard high handicap ability and play, basically, with the driver. But this is what this is about. You know, taking those 10 shots, I could have maybe upped it to like 20 shots each to give it more of a even level playing field. I went out there, I didn't warm up really, so the Slazenger V300 was my warm-up club, and then I went into the TaylorMade. But neither here or there. So straight away at the top, it's very, very odd. So straight away, these are the averages that the Garmin Golf app give you. So the D representing the Slazenger V300, average carry 182 in comparison to the average carry of the TaylorMade 179. Not a huge difference in it, and like, once again, this could be down to a lot of contributing factors there, but arguably pretty much the same. If you level it out, and I think I'd have kept going, you'd still get that same. And then that average total, so we're going from the right hand side in the V300 200, and the TaylorMade is only at 196. Although the max total, so that is the total distance, I think it was higher with the TaylorMade. But like I said, I don't really want to go based on that. So looking at the rest of this, like I said, let's have a look at the dispersion actually as well. So firstly, the V300, like so, you know, so we can see there was, we're talking like what, 5, maybe 6 shots going out to the right there. 3 of them really significant. You know, that they're going to be the ones that are out of bounds effectively. They're not in play. So you could say maybe four out of the shots on the V300 were well out of play. You know, we're talking lost ball. Let's have a look at the TaylorMade. I mean, the TaylorMade's that's a scattering, and quite a different scattering as well. So we've actually put some left. So we've got those 3 out on the left. I mean, the 3 on the right that are massively short, they're lost. I mean, I think that one, yeah, the one at the bottom I've actually deleted. It's not part of the overall capture. But it's hard to tell really on dispersion between these two. You know, what is worse than I mean, they're both bad. Let's not even deny it. It's a horrendous 20 shots with drivers from you, but this is high handicap level. Okay, we're not all at that point where we can drill it 250 down the middle and have a dispersion of 5 yards and stuff like that. There'd be many people out there like me, and this is the whole point of this video. It's about seeing if it's worthwhile you buying an expensive driver or just buying a cheap one from your local sports store and just going with that. And in answer to that question, just at the moment, I'm going to say there isn't much difference. There really isn't. You know, arguably, I'd say the TaylorMade might have a bit more in play in comparison to the Schlesinger, but that could have just been to the fact that, you know, the Schlesinger there you can see on the screen, it might have just been warm up. Whereas you go back to the TaylorMade, there's still, you know, 3 completely lost balls out on the right, arguably 2, maybe, could even be 3 out on the left, so 6. So you could say really that the TaylorMade may have been worse. I don't know. I don't see much difference in it. But let's take our best shots and have a look at the best shot for each one and see where we're at. So for the Schlesinger V300, we're going to say it's that one there, which is this one. So we can go into statistics. So we've got the spin rate of 3568, but say it's just calculated, isn't it? But let's take a look at the data fields. So carry 200, total 220, not much deviation, which is nice. That's what you want to see. So that club head speed, that is around about my club head speed. So I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, considering that regular flex, it's probably where I need to be. That is around about my club speed at the moment. I can jack it up slightly, but as soon as I try to, things start going a little bit all over the place. Launch angle there, 12.4. That's quite high, being a 10.5 degree driver, but I'm hitting up on it, so I suppose yeah, that makes sense. Club path, wow. 4.8 left, so that is certainly an out to in path. If you watch my previous videos, I'm trying to work on this. It's a real tough one for me. Place slightly open to that path. That's probably what's made it go straight and just kept it in play. Attack angle, see, this is another one. So only 0.2 up, which is really surprising considering I'm only just, effectively I'm hitting that level. I'm not even hitting up or down on it, but the launch angle's at 12.4, which is, yeah, smash factor 1.4. and spin rate is there. So that's the best out of the Schlesinger V300. So we've got a carrier 200 and 6 yards deviation. So let's look at TaylorMade. I mean, best one there. It's obviously that one slap bang in the middle. Let's have a look at that. A nice cheeky little fade on it. Let's look at the statistics. So bit more carry, only 5 yards. Total was definitely creeped up. Hardly any deviation, so a much better deviation on that. Club head speed, exactly the same, 91. Launch angle was down, which is good, I think. 10.5 instead of that 12 degrees that was on the Schlesinger. And that club path is actually worse, I think. Yeah, it is worse in comparison. It's once again that out to in. It's just killing, draining any distance for me. Even with a club speed of 91 miles per hour, we should be getting far better distance on this. Far better, in my opinion. It's because of that path being so far out to in and that face as well. But attack angle, what's all that about? So I'm hitting down with the TaylorMade. I'm actually hitting down on my driver, which we all know you should be hitting up on. So that's, once again, not an ideal statistic there. And 1.46 on the smash factor. So my overall conclusion, there isn't a lot in them. I could probably take either one of those drivers out on the course and perform probably just as bad or as good as I would normally, to be fair. Arguably, well, I'm always going to take the TaylorMade. If I can hit it well, it's certainly going to give me more distance. Deviation, i.e. lost balls or keeping it in play, it's 50-50. But for just a few yards extra distance when you can hit it well, is it worth that extra money? Probably not, but it's just what you like. We all like nice things. I like the TaylorMade M2. I wanted to get it. And of course, I'm going to continue to play with it. I'm certainly not going to chuck that one in the garage and continue with the Slazenger V300. But for those of you out there, high handicappers like myself, or just getting into the game, don't bother spending huge amounts of money. Unless you've got money to burn, by all means, go and get yourself some nice clubs. But realistically, just get yourself down a cheap sports store, pick up, maybe not the Slazenger V300, but a equivalent of for less than £30 or around $30, and it'll probably do just what you need it to do. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hit a like and subscribe if you've not done so already. Thank you very much. Appreciate all your support. Leave a comment down below. What are you using? What drivers are you using? What's your thoughts on super cheap versus premium or newer or more modern driver for high handicap golfers? I'm really interested to see what you're doing out there. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one.